Hey guys, and welcome back for another episode of Ageless Game.
This is Allie.
And this is Ben. And today's episode is all about the 6th generation. But before we go to the next region, I want to stay a little bit more longer in Unova region, because there is a lot of things a couple of things I have missed or have forgotten or have basically just derped out on.
And so when you said the name of that region, that was for Generation 5?
Yeah, Generation 5 Unova. And that Pokemon that I have missed blindly is Cresselia, which is actually a Generation 3 Pokemon. Mm-hmm. I didn't really know she was a Generation 3 Pokemon until I just looked it up, because, again, I'm sorry if I do offend some of you Pokemon gamers, but, yeah.
There's a lot of details in these games.
Yeah, there's a lot of details. So let's move on.
Alright.
So Generation 6 is, actually, I thought was the pinnacle of Pokemon. But, Generation 5, I thought it was pinnacle of Pokemon, but Generation 6 actually takes the cake on this, because it has a lot of stuff to actually show you, and a lot of stuff to be, noteworthy. Mm-hmm. That first thing, it actually has a new type of Pokemon, or new Pokemon type, Fairy types.
They didn't have fairy types before this?
No, they didn't. So, you're probably saying why they have fairy types now. Well, how fairy types work in the game is it's actually a counterpart to dark types. It is more effective on dragon types, whereas dragon types are weak against fairy types, but fairy types are actually weak against steel. Why they're weak in steel, I still don't know.
That was a very good pun.
And also, to accommodate for the fairy types, is a new evolution, Sylveon.
Sylveon?
Yes, Sylveon.
What does it look like?
It looks like an elegant Pokemon. It has ribbons, which should be for fairy types, but also it's pink, and also it's shiny. It's blue, so you're basically making something look cool, even cooler, and some people are more prettier. This is the only type that's actually ever going to be implemented in the game. Mm-hmm. I think. I mean, if they ever add any more types, but they have fairy types now, and also the story of the game I actually do like about, and I actually haven't said what the game's names were, Pokemon X and Y. Mm-hmm. So the region that is also in this game, the Kalos region, which is the glamorous city. You'd kind of see why, because the actual region is actually based off of France, which, again, they've done East Coast or Eastern countries, like Japan, but they also are doing France, which is something that isn't really thought upon, and also why it's, when I actually first got the game, I didn't even know what the region was being based off of, because I just thought it was just a mishmash of weird Pokemon, but one of the Pokemon, Ferofu, is actually based off of a poodle, which is pretty much self-explanatory, because poodles are a big thing in France. But also, the story of the game, you actually start out the anime and the games kind of go hand in hand together, which is a really, really cool thing that people would never really think of. Why that is because, well, as always, you get a trainer to choose from. But actually, the thing is that the female trainer is the same woman or the same girl that is actually in the show itself, Serena.
Okay.
Which actually I do actually like her. I mean, she's a pretty cool character, and she basically has because in the story, in the game's story, go on and trying to get to you actually kind of get the gist of it, but they also have a new enemy that you have to face off against, Team Flare, which I actually do like. They're a pretty cool team because, well, it's Flare. Why wouldn't people like Flare? But also, I like the master or the head villain of the entire operation, Lysander. His name is Lysander, and he is a cool character because he doesn't really show himself in the anime much because he's a busy man, but and also they added something which I wouldn't even expect, which is not really a complaint, but like more of a why am I even supposed to have this? Mega evolution. You can kind of tell why the exasperation in my voice actually says that, because Mega Evolution is actually an evolution beyond evolution.
So it's kind of redundant?
Yeah, it's kind of redundant, and it actually makes your Pokemon holding a Mega Stone even stronger than before. And in the anime, there actually has been like 2-3 instances of Mega Evolution being too powerful. One is for Mega Lucario, which I actually do like. But the thing is that the trainer couldn't even couldn't even grasp the power of Mega Evolution because she was too jittery and excited because she has never really done Mega Evolution before, but her grandfather has.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the one thing I do want to say is that I do like legendaries, but there's one legendary I think is too powerful. It's just in the game, a game ender. I mean, you're basically just done there. Which the legendaries for this region is Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, Magearna, Volcanion, or Volcanon. Something. It's a water type, but there's also I forget the rest of them, but I might think of it in the next episode. But again, Yveltal, I think my first instant of it is why am I even supposed to have him in the first place? I mean, you can either choose to beat the legendaries or to capture legendaries as your own. But I went with the simple way, which is capturing the legendary because I wanted to complete the Pokedex. But why I think he's too powerful is because one of his moves, Oblivion Wing, it is a flying type move, which it'll basically obliviate any Pokemon that is struck with it, but also will act as a HP recovery thing. Again, why am I supposed to even have that? I mean, at least make him so where he isn't too overpowered. I guess that kind of explains it because he is the destruction Pokemon. Xerneas is the peace Pokemon, and then Zygarde is the order Pokemon. And also Zygarde, I think, is a weird Pokemon.
Why is that?
One thing is that he has 3 types, or you can have him in 3 different ways, which is a 50 or a 10%, 50%, or 100%. which a 10% is only with a ground, and he's actually dragon type, which I think is an overpowered move anyway. So, but there's ground. He's just dragon ground, which is a kind of a cool thing. But 50% is basically a weird-looking Houndoom. 10 is Houndoom. 50 is basically a snake-looking thing, and then 100% is a like a Megazord-looking thing. I mean, he basically looks like what you see on Power Rangers or something. And in the anime, he actually appears as like a little cell. But in the next generation I will be talking about, he actually does make a appearance as well. But you have to get all of his cells.
Weird.
Yeah, and I think it's just kind of excessive and kind of tedious because you have to go around. But anyway, about next generation. But this generation, that is kind of one complaint I have about the game. Thing is, they do Mega Evolution in this game so well that it is ridiculous. I mean, basically, it is a big thing in this generation. There's another game in this generation too, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And you actually heard me talk about this in Generation 3, but I want to talk about Generation 4's Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire now because we're kind of talking about Mega Evolution, and this is actually where Hoenn gets its own Mega Evolution stones. And also, Cantonian Pokemon also get Mega Evolution stones, and I like Gyarados' Mega Evolution. He looks like a fish. Well, he looks like a giant fish, like a carp or like a leviathan.
Huh. So he goes from looking like a little goldfish
to
looking like a sea snake.
Yeah, to a leviathan.
Huh.
Or a sea dragon.
Wow.
I mean, his name is Skull Kraken in it's his original name, but they went with Gyarados. Gyarados. Again, you might hear me mispronounce some Pokemon a lot, so just be warned because you're just gonna get cringe fest.
It happens.
Yeah.
I was around two people yesterday who were fighting over how to pronounce different Pokemon's names.
Oh, yeah?
It was pretty enjoyable to watch them argue about it.
Yeah, I don't think Pokemon's not it doesn't really matter how you pronounce the Pokemon's name. It just matters what Pokemon you know it is. Because, again, Generation 6 combines generations 1 through 5 plus this generation and basically amalgamates it into one game, which I think is a pretty cool concept for a game.
Yeah.
And also, I do have a confession to make. I actually did get stuck twice.
Oh yeah?
Well, I got stuck in where you find this mansion, and he says, because before you ever cross, to go to, Route 5, I think it is, there's a Snorlax in the way. There's always going to be a Snorlax in the way, but also, you have to get a Pokeflute, but in order to get the Pokeflute, you have to chase down a Ferofu in a maze, and get him to where he can basically be cornered. I got so fed up in the game, I just put it down because I didn't even know how to beat him.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't go over the, I forget the two names, but there's Trevor, which is another guy's name. And also, something that I've always thought was cool with the generation is that not only you have to pick out or choose your name, but you also get to choose your nickname. What your friends call you. that is something that I like because no other generation does that.
Yeah. Now, you were about to explain how you cornered the
I
Pokemon and then you switched.
Yeah, sorry, my
It was a cliffhanger. I wanted
yeah.
to know
Well, how you're supposed to do it is you have to put one of your friends in like one part of the maze. Then you have to stand in the opposite side, and if the trophy is like in the middle, like the top middle, then you just have to go towards it, and it'll run away, and then that's how you know you actually cornered it.
Gotcha.
So basically, if he doesn't know where to run, he basically just runs nowhere.
Okay. So you have to have another friend playing with you in the same.
Well, no, it's actually an NPC.
Oh, okay.
You have in-game friends.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's not like they're taunting you because you don't have any friends or anything.
That's good. Okay, so they have a non-playing character in the game.
Yeah, they have. There's like 4, and again, whichever gender you choose, that gender you don't choose will actually be the rival you go up against. So again, like I've actually went with male, so I actually went up against Serena, and after the game, she just seems laughable. I mean, not really laughable in like a ha-ha kind of way, like laughable like if you have like a Pokemon that goes up against her Pokemon, then that's fine by me. I mean, but if you're like just taunting her because of that, well, I mean, you're just a horrible person. I mean, again, like I think Serena is a cool character, and she should have went with Ash in the Alola region. Or in another region, how they did that in Generations 1 through 4 with Brock and Misty, but they quit doing that after Generation 6. That kind of stinks.
Yeah.
And also, I actually have seen a pattern, is that almost every time is that Ash's friends, they act like at least one of his friends is a gym leader. Like Brock and Misty are gym leaders. Silent is a gym leader, and like 4 or 5 episodes after you meet Clement, you find out that he is actually gym leader himself, but he actually didn't really want to mention it because he actually does. It's like a big thing, like a big weight over his shoulders, and he's an electric type gym leader. So I do like the starters for this generation.
Yeah.
I actually went with the fire type starter, Finnegan. There is Finnegan, Froakie, and Chespin. I went with Finnegan because, well, fire types, and plus, Finnegan's actually based off of a Fennec Fox. If you haven't seen Fennec Fox, then you're going to have an awe fest, because if you look it up, then you'll probably think it's the cutest thing in the world. I think Finnegan's actually based off of a Red Fox now, that I think about it. Because Eevee is based off of a Fennec.
Oh,
no, ain't. Both of them are actually based off Finnegans. What am I even saying?
I have no idea.
But the thing is that, again, I actually went with Finnegan, which turns into kind of a teenage-looking Finnegan, and then to a Delphox. But the thing is that in the anime, which is something really weird, and I do want to mention, Ash's Froakie, his final evolution is Greninja, and if you ever seen the Pokemon XY movie or XY show, then you'll know that it's just a big mind blow, because Ash's Greninja can actually Mega Evolve without the use of a Mega Stone. Yeah, it's just kind of weird, and I don't know if it actually is true for that in the games, because I never really tried it out. Because I just picked a fire starter, the fire starter, and it's odd. But again, the actual game has 3D graphics, not the usual 2D sprites. I actually like the 2D sprites because it adds a little bit more depth of the game. And also the story I didn't actually go on because there's actually another character which is really shrouded. I mean, he doesn't really say his real name. He just goes by AZ, Az or something. But the thing is that 3,000 years ago, there actually has been a war that struck Kalos just so quick that it almost killed. It almost wouldn't have ended until AZ would have acted and basically made a weapon of destruction. Why? Is because he wanted to have the war end, but his friend was actually a flabebe. It's actually a plant, fairy plant. I always call grass plant for some reason. I guess because I have another game in mind, and that I've always liked a game too, Dragon Bell. But also in the final stretch of the game, after you beat the Elite Four, he comes again. You can beat him, and he will kind of realize his errors, and of how he basically almost destroyed the world. And his flabebe comes back to him.
That's cool.
Yeah, but also he's not really because if you just look up that Pokemon or the second evolution of flabebe, he doesn't look anything like what he actually is supposed to be. And also AZ is like 3 or 4 characters tall. Like he's a giant. I mean, he basically towers over anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes for like anyone else, but still, I mean, he just kind of seems really tall for a character that size. But as I was saying about Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I actually played Alpha Sapphire, and again, like I still think Mega Evolution is kind of powerful. Like it's too powerful. If you don't even know, because I actually went with a fire starter in that game too. I didn't go with the water starter for some reason. But also I still do like the game, and I didn't even realize this when I actually first played X and Y, or when I played Pokemon Y, is that like if you actually kill a legendary that you want, you can reset that by competing in the Elite Four again, which is pretty much, which is really really hard because if you don't have the right team, then you're pretty much stuck, and you're gonna die like constantly. Which I don't really get why they did it that way. And also they also added the fashion. They actually added fashion in the game, which I actually like. It can actually cosplay as Ash in the games, and there's only one place in Pokemon Y up to Pokemon Sun and Moon, which allows you to access certain areas with being Ash. But the thing is, the only one I could ever complete was, I actually completed both of them, but Pokemon Y's version was more easier than Sun's version, because you couldn't just get them in the shop. I mean, there wasn't really any restrictions or any things you had to do. You could actually just do that then and there.
Sweet.
But it's kind of weird, odd, a bit stupid. I mean, how much money you can spend and basically have the entire shop sold out, which is an excessive amount of money. You have to go for a mail trainer, it's like 50 some $million or something, and it's like $1 million or something like that. And for the female trainer, it is basically doubled that.
What?
Yeah, and because there's a lot of more options you can do, and a lot of things you can actually have.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand why they done that. I mean, if you wanted to eat your heart out, then go ahead. I don't care.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, when eating your heart out or spending money.
Probably the eating your heart out part.
Well, yeah. And also, I just almost forgot a Pokemon, Hoopa. And it actually has two forms, which is something that is, consistent in the Pokemon universe. It has a just regular chibi form and an awesome-looking Jin form, like a genie form, and it actually uses hoops, named Hoopa, and in the movie Hoopa and the Ring of Ages, they actually done him really well. That he actually talks with actual words, not telepathically. And basically, how he actually they made him is that he is basically a evil genie that basically wants to show. Well, he's not really evil. He just attention hungry. He wants to have people look what he can do, but his powers just got too out of hand. So they basically had to put him in a bottle and seal him up for ages. But then, someone had to go and release him from his cage and basically almost destroy the world.
Whoops.
Yeah. And also, there's actually a recurring character that has basically made it through, from Generation 4, or 4 or 5, this game, and so on. Mr. Looker. Yeah. He basically is a Pokemon detective, or a kind of a private detective or something. And there's actually one where you basically have to. I actually haven't really gone through a Diamond Pearl, but I went through Pokemon Black and White, and it is really weird because he actually does. You have to track down the 7 stages in that game, and you can explore Unova. In Generation 6, he makes a reoccurrence, but there actually is a story behind this, which doesn't really happen too much. I mean, usually once you do that, you have an optional story or something, but it doesn't really do that much in this. It doesn't really do much in the other games, but in this game especially, it actually it's really rock solid. That you have to find a girl that's been missing, and you have to go through Lumos City to actually ever find her, and yeah.
A hard task?
Yeah, it's a hard task. I actually got stuck on that for I don't know how many years until I ever actually found her.
Nice.
And complete the game, kind of complete the story and the after story.
So it gave you years of entertainment.
Yeah, and it will do that years to come.
Yeah, it sounds like a good game. You mentioned a lot of great things about it.
Yeah, I mean, there are some complaints I do have about Pokemon, but to each its own.
Yeah. All right, well, we're probably about out of time.
Yeah, so tune in next time for Generation 7, where we take a good long vacation in sunny Alola.